This week on Nigga Flicks, welcome to Mama Where's Daddy, a show where single chicks with no father in the home lie to their sons all day about the dad not being there. You know how it is if you come from the black community.
Your daddy ain't shit!
And so what happens is, they turn their sons against their mothers, and then the son hates their daddy. And then, when they find out, 30 years later, that mom was starting it up with everybody on the street. And every nigga that came over, she said that was her uncle, was really a nigga that she was sleeping with. Booty clapping sounds, please. And it all gets exposed here on Nigga Flicks. You know, where nigga stuff comes first. Check us out at a liquor store near you at February 32nd. Peace out. What's good, everybody? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of The Celebrity Jump. The other day, I was hanging out in the Black Men Against Single Mothers group. I think that's what it's called. Give them a round of applause. And I saw, Say No to Single Mothers group, right? And I saw this particular video, all right? And I want to give a shout out to a brother, Brother Lamar. He actually sent this video here, and the video is from a brother, and his brother's name is Prince T-Dub, right, on Instagram. Go follow him, check him out, you know what I'm saying? The brother is doing his thing. Give him a round of applause. And he made a very interesting video, right? Very, very interesting video about how a lot of times women will lie to their sons about what happened with the father. Which then, especially in the black community, it leads to a lot of disdain, a lot of anger, and the young man has hated his father because of what the mother has told him. And so a lot of you brothers have experienced that, and a lot of brothers have held grudges against their fathers for years about, seeing their mother struggling and things like that. But what I'd like to do is I'd like to play this particular video clip, and I'm going to come back and respond to it.
Let me tell you something. Never hold a grudge with your daddy over some shit your mama told you. Now, my uncle finally come back around to tell his side of the story, and my cousin still got an attitude. No, cuz that nigga left me. Motherfucker, he ain't leave you. He left your mama. And if you knew your mama back in the 90s, you'd have left her ass too. All the skillets and shit she'd have hit him upside his goddamn head with. She lucky that's all he did. Auntie said 3 other niggas was your daddy before you even got here. You just grew older and started calling them niggas uncle. Them niggas ain't your uncle. Them was suspects. And I'm sorry to be the one to tell you. Lord rest her soul, but your mama had a little hoe in her. Yeah, she found Christ before she passed, but before she passed, she was passed around by the whole goddamn neighborhood. And this a message to all you out here popping kids out like they Tic Tacs. Somebody gonna have to explain your horse ways to your curious teenagers one day. And when that day come, you better tell the motherfucking truth. I'm trying to tell you.
All right, guys, you heard what he had to say. Unfortunately, this is something that happens far too often in the African American community. And what we have is a lot of young black men and older black men who for many years have heard only one side of the story. It's happened to almost every brother that I know. It's even happened, although my mom was, very transparent, I had to give my own father a chance to explain to me things that my mom wouldn't tell me that he told me, right? When my parents were divorced in 1994, I didn't hear everything. And it wasn't until he told me things that I knew that was true that she wouldn't tell me that, it made me appreciate him more. And what we have is a lot of times black men trying to stay in relationships, to be with, the child's mother. The mother is cheating on him. The mother is unbearable. She's mentally abusive. She's, she ain't telling that part. She ain't talking about how, she's spending all the money. She's not talking about how she's staying out all night. She's not talking about, what she's doing to terrorize the relationship, what her family is doing to terrorize the relationship. And a lot of times black men have enough, And, unfortunately they leave. The woman that they believe that she was in the beginning is not the woman that they're in now. And then when the man leaves and tries to have a relationship with the son, a lot of times that is negated or nullified by attempts of the mother. The guy doesn't want anything to do with her, but he wants to build a relationship with the son or the daughter. And then the mother is the one that's stopping the visits or the visitations. And while she's stopping the visitation, she's telling, this young man that, our daughter, that your father doesn't love you. He's not a real man. He's not this, he's not that, and all of which. And, and it creates a separation between the father and the son. And it's not until a black man becomes a father himself and he's dealing with a woman that's dysfunctional, and he goes through the experience that, the mother won't let him see his own child. And now when he talks to his father, he understands his father is telling the truth, because now he's going through a similar situation. And so you have that, a black man not liking his father for 30, 40 years. You have brothers trying to reestablish relationships with their fathers for all that time. And so much, psychological damage. And now a lot of black men are waking up to understand that, hey, there's more than one side of the story. There is my father's side of the story also. My father was trying to have a relationship with me, and I want to urge everybody, because even my own father, when my parents were going through their situation, it wasn't all, it was not really as bad, right? Cause I always knew that my mother always allowed me to have time with my father. But, there were times where, I was more believing, what my mother had to say. And my father was a very honest man, and he was saying, what was going on. But I understood certain things. My mother was older than my father too. And my father was 5 years younger than my mother. So with certain situations, my dad wasn't able to deal with her, right, in the way that she dealt with him, right? My mom is a very tough person to deal with, so I can understand him having problems because I know her, right? And I know how she can be. So, when you're a young man, you don't really see that until you get older, and who your ways of your mom, your ways of your family. And then when you come into the understanding and you look at it objectively, you can say, okay, I understand why he had a problem, right? I understand why he had these issues, because, I can see that in her personality. And I just want to say, man, if one thing you guys want to learn from me in the black manosphere, I have a wonderful father. He's made, some mistakes in his life. But one thing that I will say is, black men, get a relationship with your dad. You only have one of them, right? And one of the things that I want to do on this platform is to bring a lot of black men together, because we need that. We need to be able to understand that, fatherhood is important, man. It's important for black men to know the truth, and for black men to give their father a chance to, explain the things that happen in the relationship and explain why things happen and stuff like that. So black men, please, reach out to your father and understand, ask him, I heard all these things. I know that you was not there, but why? You'll be surprised what he has to say. And then take that information back to your mom. And you might find out that your mom was lying to you about a lot of different things, or she was withholding information from you. And I know for a lot of brothers, this episode is going to hit deep. And I understand a lot of brothers are hurt behind stuff like this. But listen, this is why the Black Manosphere is here. We address these issues. Now, I know some brothers didn't go through this, but a lot of our black men did go through this, and it has really haunted them, and it's haunted their character and how they deal with other black men, haunted how they deal with even sisters. So we need more black men to get this, under the rug. And that don't mean that you hate your mother for, what she did, but just, understand that, need to give your father a chance, man. A lot of times you'll find that your father really loved you, and the courts and the system, kept him away. All right. So guys, what do you think? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of The Celebrity Junk. I really appreciate you for all that you do. Subscribe with the bell. Check out the first comment pinned in the top. I really thank you for your support. Check out the Patreon. And as you guys know, the buffoonery remains at an all-time high. I'm out.